John Marcus died at Deseto of the Spanish flu. Emily stopped visiting him because she didn't want to see him waste away. She adopted a lie because it felt better. Emily hated the pathetic man that passed away in Deseto, but she was very proud of the man she made up, a man who died a martyr in the trenches of France. This must have been the true trauma that the dog man specified in the contract, but why was it Emily's and not Jeremy's?
What can be said about Jacob van Ostad without evoking contempt or apologia? The first piece of information is the obvious. He is not the explorer Jeremy idolized in his youth, but the figment of his imagination. If you want biographical facts, I am not the one to answer such questions. In the case of Jeremy, he is a guardian of imagination, or rather a persona appointed the role of containing a self-sabotaging mania. However useful Jacob once was, his loyalty to Jeremy has slowly been replaced by fanaticism. Like a firekeeper who has for decades been burnt by his own sacred flames, now does what he imagines the fire wants. Jeremy has lost all control over Jacob and suffers greatly because of him, but is admittedly also still invigorated by his labor. In the plainest of words, Jacob keeps Jeremy sick so he can remain Jeremy.
Miss Hartwood, lock the door, will you? I'd rather not run into dear Dr. Gray if I can help it.
This feels strange. So very strange.
Emily felt detached, as if watching herself from across the room, awkwardly attempting to help Detective Conby solve the case of her missing uncle. What was happening to her? And why did this place feel so familiar?
You okay?
This place? It's like something from my childhood.
It's just a private study of a very peculiar man.
I think this is it. I'm properly mad.
You should be. Dr. Gray's playing with fire. Derceto's a powder keg of loonies, all ready to play their part in a murderous cult.
I'm trying to say I've lost my mind, Detective. The heart would curve.
I'm sure you're exaggerating. Try to focus on whatever you've been doing.
Right. Breaking the Dark Man's contract. Does it even matter anymore? There's a book missing.
A secret door.
Looks like it.
Careful. Let me go first. Now we're talking. Great job, Emily.
Found anything?
Oh, Dr. Gray's in so deep, I knew it. He's as mad as his patients. I mean, look at this. She who can till the soil of this sick world and begin again. The black goat of the woods with 1,000 young. Absolute insanity.
I have the strangest sensation that this is somehow Jeremy's room.
What? No. This is Dr. Gray's private quarters.
I want to apologize, Detective, for my elusive behavior tonight. I'm glad you haven't given up on me and my uncle yet.
Ah, you got nothing to apologize for. In fact, you've been out of my hair for most of the evening, you're self-reliant, and you've been helping with your own particular brand of investigation. As far as I'm concerned, you're an exemplary client.
Thank you, Edward. Mr. Carnby.
Good to finally meet you, Mr. Hartwood. I'm here on the behalf of your brother Philip. You were expecting me, weren't you?
Yes. You're from Derceto, no?
That's right. I just wanted to ask you a few questions to see if there is anything I can do to help you and your family.
Okay.
I understand you're full of imagination. You make up a lot of things.
I suppose.
And you obsess over them, blurring reality and fiction.
Sometimes.
Do you want to tell me about the Dark Man?
No, I don't.
That's all right. Perhaps there is something else you can tell me. Something you know to be made up, but you hold dear.
Juan?
John? Who's John?
No, Juan Luis Jorge. Oh, wait there a moment. Here, take a look.
Is he... Oh, he is the author.
It's a magnificent book. Life-changing even. The real Juan is long dead, but I like to think of him as my friend. My most beloved friend.
I see. Do you often do this? Fantasize about people you read about?
No. Well, there is Jacob.
Who is Jacob?
Turn to the last page.
Oh, it's a newspaper article. The Prisoner of Ice, Jacob van Ostad. Is he also your beloved friend?
Oh, no, Doctor. Not at all. He is the fire that fights fire.
Yes, I think it's clear your overstimulated imagination, this mania, needs to be tempered for you to live a normal life. I know your family calls it the Heartwood curse, but I want you to know that there is nothing supernatural about your condition. It's all inside your head. And with that, I'm very qualified to deal with. In time, you will be cured.
In time.
Yes, in time we will exorcise all your demons, all the dark men.
Yeah!
Please, Mr. Heartwood, calm yourself.
What happened?
Oh, don't you worry your little head about it, Miss Heartwood. Your uncle and I just had our first breakthrough.
This has something to do with the numbers for the talisman.
The Snake Dagger, a monograph by Yael Klein. In Ludwig Prin's book on pagan rituals called The Mystery of the Grave, as translated by Nicholas Vachy, there are several references to a sacrificial dagger called the Snake Dagger. It has long been thought of as a poor translation of the original text, that it would be more appropriate with worm dagger from the Latin vermis cultrum. This seems natural following the recent consensus that the original title of Prin's book, De Vermis Mysteris, should literally translate to the mystery of the worm. However, this would take away from Vachy's great effort at translating the underlying meaning of the words and revealing several cultural beliefs. While Prin certainly was using the term worm as a symbol or synecdoche for death and the dead, which is made clear by the contents of the book, in the case of the dagger, we shouldn't be too hasty to dismiss his translation. Reading through Vachy's correspondence with his patron, it appears that he had more than just the Latin text at his disposal. Vachy had dug up Prin's living relatives and uncovered several cross-referenced historical texts and an actual snake dagger. The dagger was dated to the early Middle Kingdom of Egypt and had such a clear shape of a wave that Vachy considered calling it the sinusoidal blade. Knowing the full story, it seems prudent that he chose to translate it as snake and not worm. There are several reasons why this choice of word helps us understand the pagans that Prin's book attempts to describe. The symbolic value of the shape becomes more apparent when reading about the use for the dagger. In the passage of possession and exorcism, we find the snake dagger poisons the poisoner within the victim and is therefore pacified. Where the literal text would tell us that the worm dagger trumps the demon possessing the victim, it tells us nothing of their reasoning, only that somehow this dagger wins against the demon, like it had the better hand in poker. Vachy's translation allows us to follow the underlying logic to the ritual magic that is being performed. Poison the poisoner sounds like fighting fire with fire. That to hurt the demon possessing its victim, the priests would have to fight back with a power that is known to the evil they are fighting. The snake dagger is therefore not only a good way to describe its form, but it also helps us understand how it could be thought of as a useful tool for exorcism. Finally, it also helps us understand their relationship to lunacy, that it was thought of as something poisoning the mind rather than controlling it. What is also interesting to note is that the possessed are always considered poisoned in their head and not their heart. The snake dagger always went to the eye of the possessed, leaving them partially blind, if they had the good luck to survive.
I can't believe I didn't see that before. Hello? Who's there? Jeremy?
Jeremy is with the Dark Man. You can't save him.
Jeremy is with the Dark Man? Where? Who is he? What is the Dark Man?
The Heartwood curse. He will come for you too.
The voice on the phone was somehow familiar, yet so strange. Who was that?
You heard the telephone ring, right?
No, the telephone's cut off. I tried calling the police earlier.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
None of Emily's experiences seemed to line up with reality anymore. Even when she accomplished something, it seemed absurd. Was this what it was like to be completely consumed by the Heartwood curse? Not mind-numbing terror, but a continuous state of confusion breaking you down.
Hey, Mr. Carnby?
What?
Nothing, right?
It's a closet?
That's right, Detective. I'll see you later. I have to finish this.
You're going inside the closet?
I know what it looks like, but I can't explain it, much less justify it.
All right. You do what you have to do, miss.
Goodbye, Detective.
The icy wastes before her felt profound and deeply wrong, like staring into a grisly wound revealing bone under the fleshy mounds of muscle, seeing layers of Jeremy that she would rather stay hidden.
Found the ancient stellarium perched on a cliff facing the Arctic Ocean after a day of sailing due north of the Eskimo encampment. Jacob van Oostad was our most keen member of the expedition. He had been chasing down the source of a peculiar type of crystallized metal present in several sacred items among the natives on the northeast coast of Greenland. The site was a remarkable find for any explorer, and we were all enraptured in our search for enlightenment and meaning. The surviving architecture seemed almost unearthly in origin and astonishingly sophisticated. The metal Jacob was searching for was abundant, almost ubiquitous. We were so taken by our find that we were surprised by the sun falling below the horizon. As we quickly picked up our gear, ready to head back to our camp, Jacob van Oostad declared that he wanted to stay.
He was adamant. We begged him to reconsider. The night would be getting colder by the hour, and we feared for all our safety. Jacob refused, threatening us with violence if we wouldn't leave him alone. As the snowfall turned heavier, we left him there on his own. The next day, the weather became worse, and we had to spend hours enforcing our shelter as our tents became increasingly useless. The group had written off Jacob, thinking he must be dead. I had an urge to make one final attempt to save him, so I headed out as darkness fell with a handful of flares and headed toward the coast and up the climb towards the Stellarium. That's when I saw him, transfixed by a burning sky, that celestial lantern. Jacob keeled over and let out a painful shriek that struck me with such fear and pity. He was crying in agony, for the cold weather had ravaged his flesh. I called out to him, and he turned to face me. His vacant stare held me in place like a needle through a butterfly, and he said, "You must leave now, Herrstan. Go, and never come back." And so I left.
We can talk about this.
It's too late for that. It's too late.
man is gonna be in the middle of your existence, Jeremy. And at least set everything in order. Why are you here? I did everything you wanted to break the pact. What else can I do? Wait, it did work. That's why you're coming after me. You're in my head now. In that case, I hope you enjoy your stay.
Emily, stop!
Don't worry. We got you.
Are you alone? Or is he in there with you? Miss Hot, what is up?
Heard you almost painted the foyer with your own blood and guts. Good to see you still in one piece. Stick around, will you? It's going to be an exciting night.
Good to see you made it, miss. And all that ruckus, Lottie gave you a healthy dose of that sleeping juice. Wasn't sure you'd be waking up again.
What happened?
You had a psychological breakdown. Tried to shoot yourself. Sorry for the manhandling, but we just wanted to save you.
You also stabbed Jeremy in the eye.
Is he alright?
He's a little strange, but everything else is back to normal.
Really? I broke the pact?
I don't know what you did, but it worked. Let's see you standing up, miss.
Jeremy, are you okay? I'm so sorry for hurting you. How can you ever forgive me?
Emily, I missed you so. I do hope you'll stay with me for a while.
Uncle, what's wrong? Is it anesthesia? He seems so meek.
I wish that was the case. It turns out that you managed to lobotomize him. It's actually quite impressive considering your technique.
This is permanent?
You sacrificed a piece of his mind to save the whole. It's a little like treating a bad knee by cutting off the leg. It's blunt, but it works.
That's terrible.
Perhaps. But at least he won't suffer anymore. Do you remember the Dark Man, Jeremy?
Ah, yes. Where did he go? I hope he is doing all right.
You see? With a violent stab, you made any future treatment quite redundant. I assume you will be bringing him with you back to New Orleans.
I will. I just need to find Detective Carnby.
Everything was back to normal. Did any of it really happen? What had Emily actually been doing all night?